Hey, everybody. Welcome to Parenting for Progress, a guide for helping parents develop a growth mindset in their athletes. My name is Coach Craig Kolick, and I have been a volleyball coach collegiately for nearly 3 decades. I have over 1,000 NCAA wins. I've also been an athletic director for 20 years, 10 years as a mental performance coach. I've coached over 1,000 athletes. I'm also the uncle to 3 athletes that I was very present and a big part of their athletic journey when they were growing up. And I'm also the dad of an athlete and the owner of CCK Performance Training, where I help athletes get to the next level, overcoming mental blocks or anything that's holding them back to get to that level. I'm also big in recruitment and recruitment expert, and I also am an advocate for coaches in athletic departments. I have advised and also mentored a lot of coaches. So let's get into growth mindset. So from fixed to flourishing, my goal for this is to really help parents have their athletes go from fixed to flourishing. Bottom line, to reach your full potential, it all starts with a growth mindset. Um, Over the last few months, so I've been at a lot of tournaments and I've talked to a lot of parents, and just through conversation, parents have said that they've know about the growth mindset, but they struggle with instilling that in their kids. So my hopes for this webinar is that we'll be able to give some insight on the growth mindset and inspire on how to encourage and develop in your kids the belief that their own capacity, in their own capacity, that they can learn and grow. And that's the bottom line, is that being able to learn and grow in their own capacity is really going to make them flourish at whatever they're trying to do athletically, on the court, on the field, off the court, off the field. So let's jump in. So there's 2 ways of thinking about skill and development. You've probably heard about this and probably know about this part. Okay, it's a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Now, I got this from Trevor Reagan, who runs a podcast called Train Ugly. So if you want to dive deeper into this whole thought process, then definitely check him out. I just wanted to give you a summary so that you know what we're building off of through this little session here. So with a fixed mindset, people with fixed mindset believe that skills and intelligence are set and you either have them or you don't. They believe that some people are just naturally good at things while others are not. People with a growth mindset, they believe that skills and intelligence are grown and developed. People who are good at something, they're good at it because they built the ability to do that. And people who aren't good are not good because they haven't done the work. So in short, the core idea here is that people with a fixed mindset, they believe that they are not in control of their abilities. They believe that skills are born and that you can't learn and grow. Whereas people with a growth mindset, they believe that you're in control of your abilities. Skills can be built and that you can learn and grow. So basically, people with a growth mindset tend to learn and grow and achieve more over time than people with a fixed mindset. So LeBron James, NBA player, is one of the older players in the league, and maybe the oldest player in the league. He's a big advocate, obviously, of the whole growth mindset. He's always been talking about it when you hear him talk. This is one of the things he said. It's always about growth mindset. That's what we always talk about, growth mindset. It's the fact that you know that you can get better even at our age. And so he believes even at his age, he still has the ability to learn and grow. So to actually understand what a growth mindset is, we're going to hit on the nuts and bolts of how it actually works. So there's 2 huge defining characteristics that are influence our ability to learn. It's our beliefs and it's our focus. So if you really want to narrow in on why your kid is struggling with confidence and resilience, or if you want them to progress towards reaching their goals, then you need to dive deeper into what they believe and what they are focusing on. And that's key. So people with a fixed mindset, their beliefs, again, skills are born. You can't learn and grow. And their focus is on performance, outcomes, and results, and not looking bad. Whereas people with a growth mindset, skills are built and you can learn and grow. And that's what they believe. And then they focus on the process of getting better. So the key point to remember is the foundation for learning and reaching goals is by working on a growth mindset. And if you understand the growth mindset, which hopefully by the end of tonight, you will, but if you understand it, no matter what you build on the foundation of that, it will be more powerful. So key ingredients to growth. So adding on to the influences of belief and focus, there's 4 ingredients to growth. There's effort, challenges, mistakes, and feedback. So people with a fixed mindset, they see effort as a negative thing, as something you do when you're not good enough, and you don't see the value and purpose of putting in the effort. People with a fixed mindset, they tend to back down and avoid challenging situations, and they get really discouraged and worked up when they make mistakes. And then when they get feedback from like a parent or a teacher, or a coach, or even a friend, they get defensive, they take it personally, and they don't see the value or purpose of the feedback. So in other words, people with a fixed mindset actually shy away and avoid doing the things that would help them grow. Whereas on the other side, you have people with a growth mindset. They see effort as a useful thing and an important part of the learning process. They're more likely to embrace challenges and persevere and work through the challenges. And they see mistakes as a learning opportunity. And then also, when they receive feedback, they actually appreciate it and they use it to grow. So the important thing here is to connect the dots between the 4 key ingredients to growth and the 2 mindsets of our actions and behaviors towards learning. So with the fixed mindset, first, they actually shy away from effort because they believe that they can't change. Okay, they give up when they're met with a challenge and when things get hard because they don't want to look bad. And in their minds, challenges become a threat. And when it comes to a threat, they don't believe that they can change. As far as mistakes, whoops, sorry, hit the wrong button. As far as mistakes, they believe that it's not that they believe, they hate making mistakes and they're discouraged by making mistakes because when they make mistakes, they're afraid of looking bad. They don't see value and purpose of feedback because they don't believe in their capacity to grow. So again, with the mistakes, and this is a big one because this is a lot of athletes that I work with here with the mistakes, they hate making mistakes. They're discouraged by making mistakes. I'm having trouble with mistakes. They're discouraged by making mistakes, and because of that, they're afraid of looking bad, or they're not afraid of not looking good. So that's the biggest thing. The feedback is also important. They don't see the purpose of it. And as a coach, it's frustrating. As a parent, it's frustrating. And you really want to give that feedback, but you need to be able to, again, zone in on their beliefs and focus of why they're not taking the feedback. So in one way or another, one of these actions is a byproduct of these characteristics. So these 4 ingredients, these are all byproducts of either their belief or their focus. Same thing with growth mindset. So with a growth mindset, they see value and purpose and effort because they believe in their capacity to grow. They're more likely to take on a challenge and persevere through it because they believe that they can grow and because they are focused on their opportunity to do that. So now their focus is there. They also frame a challenge as an opportunity to get better, and focusing on the process, they believe in their capacity to grow, and they're more likely to understand how important mistakes are in the process. And when they receive the feedback from a parent, teacher, coach, or friend, they're more receptive to this because their focus is on getting better, and they believe that that information can actually help them grow, and they have the capacity to do so. So two key points to remember here from the fixed and the growth mindset. First, you're not just one or the other. This is kind of a spectrum. In different times, on different days, in different situations, you might be in a growth mindset, while other times you slip into a fixed mindset. But now that we understand how it works and we understand the characteristics, you can start to identify where your athlete is on the spectrum, and more specifically, the cause of that mindset. Is it their beliefs or is it the focus? And now we have awareness. And that you're aware of, you can make changes. If you're not aware of it, you can't change things. And then second, yes, these actions of learning, effort, challenges, mistakes, and feedback are definitely behaviors that we want, but we have to understand that they all come from basically our beliefs and our focus. They're byproducts of that. So to create a great culture for learning, it's about zooming in on our beliefs and focus and creating a real growth mindset, which is, again, one of the most important things we can do and help our athletes. So to help the student athletes develop that growth mindset, you can incorporate certain exercises that challenge their beliefs in their ability and their effort and their improvement. And so I've developed 6 exercises that I do with athletes when I work with them one-on-one, specifically designed to foster a growth mindset. So we're going to jump into those. So the first scenario is growth versus fixed mindset. So if you have conversations with your athlete about this, this is going to help them recognize the two. All right. Present athletes with various situations. Example, they missed a key play, struggling in practice, and then ask them to identify whether their response represents a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. Then guide them in reframing their thoughts in more of a growth mindset. And the reason why this is powerful is because this helps them become aware of negative thought patterns in practice, and it gives them practice in shifting them towards growth-oriented perspective. So it gives them more awareness by just having conversations about certain scenarios that went on. Okay, and the more they start to recognize their fixed or growth mindset, the more they're going to be able to change it a little more automatically and slip into a growth mindset more and more regularly. Okay, so this is a powerful exercise just to start with, just having conversations, just a key play that happened in a game. Maybe they come home, they say they're struggling in practice, and then identify how they're responding to those situations, and then guide them, reframe it. How can we do this differently? Next exercise, and I love this one, is the power of yet. I believe that yet is the most powerful word in the English language. This shifts the focus from limitations to potential. Okay, when you add yet to the end of statements, it gives them more of a potential outlook. So you want to encourage athletes to reframe their self-talk by adding yet to statements. So for example, I can't do this, or I'm not good at this. You can change and say, I'm not good at serving yet. All right, I'm not good at this yet. I can't do this yet. This encouraged the belief that skills and abilities can be developed over time, so it can be learned. All right, I use this word a ton at home, with myself, with my athletes that I work with one-on-one in my program. It is a massively powerful word that really just gets them to be like, yeah, like I still have time to reach my goals. I still have time to work at this. And it just reframes and shifts perspective. So use yet. Another good thing is reflection journals. So foster self-awareness and the ability to learn from experiences by having a reflection journal. Have athletes keep a journal where they reflect on both success and challenges in practice or competition. They should focus on what they learn from each experience and how they can overcome obstacles and what they could do better next time. What this does is it helps athletes develop a habit of viewing challenges as opportunities to grow. Again, so important. When I work with my athletes one-on-one in my program, we do what I call a 3 and 3. So we will have them after practices and after games every single time, have them write down 3 things that they did well and 3 things that they learned. Generally, they say learned as 3 things they need to do better or they didn't do well. So writing 3 and 3 down allows them to get it down on paper, and then also see how they can progress, what they can keep doing because they did 3 things well, keep doing that, and then 3 things that they learned, how to move forward with it tomorrow to work on those things, because those things are going to help them get to their goals and get better. Okay, so with reflection journals, one thing I just want you to be mindful of when you bring this up to your athlete, like I am not a big journaling person. I do the 3 and 3 because it's very short and bullet points. A lot of athletes that I work with will write out paragraphs. They'll kind of brain dump. And there's no right or wrong, bullet points or brain dumping. Just be aware that what your athlete will do, get them to understand what's best for them, what works for them, because that's the bottom line. If they feel like they want to brain dump and write down pages in a journal, great, super powerful. If they just want to do bullet points after a practice or game, getting to the habit of repetition and doing that is going to make huge strides for them as well, because they're going to have something to look back on to build their confidence and like, yeah, I am actually growing. Okay. And again, that's going to reframe for the future. So super powerful exercise as well. Goal setting with process focus. So this is huge as far as really trying to set the tone for how do we reach the ultimate goal in 6 months, let's say, or a year, because we don't want to look at the big picture and say, oh man, that's so far away, or that's a big hill to climb, right? So we want to encourage athletes to focus on effort and progress rather than just results. So have athletes set both outcome and process goals. Outcome goals are focused on winning or results. Example, scoring a certain number of points, while process goals are related to effort and improvement. So improving their technique or increasing stamina, effort, energy, things like that. This, again, helps athletes focus on continuous improvement and reinforces that progress is more important than just the outcome. Their success in their journey is the journey. That is their victory. What happens at the end of the journey, the final result, like that's just icing on the cake, right? Did we reach our goals or not? But they have to enjoy the journey, that it's going to be so all over the place that they have to enjoy it and understand that they are making process. They are making strides. Their process is getting better. Excuse me, I said they are making process. They're making strides. Their process is getting better. So really focusing on the process, especially for you as a parent, encouraging that, and you yourself also focusing on their process and not their results, is really a powerful thing as well for you to encourage as a parent. And then celebrate failures and learn from them. I want you to understand that if we normalize failure as part of a growth process, they're going to get better. So we want to create a team culture, team being you and your child, where failures are seen as learning opportunities. That's, as coaches, that's what we try to do. It's what we should be doing as a coach. After a practice or a game, discuss what went wrong and brainstorm ways to improve. Emphasize that mistakes are part of the growing process and that effort is important, and it's more important than perfection. Okay, perfection isn't a thing, but the effort, absolutely a thing. So they're going to learn not to fear failure and to view it as an essential part of development. I was watching an interview with a boxer, and he was saying he never, I mean, boxing, like scary, scary profession, scary sport, right? And he's never scared because he enjoys it. He has fun doing it, and he understands that to fail in these fights, it's about growing, so having fun and understanding that, hey, mistakes are part of it, that's going to get them to the next level as well. That's going to really have them embrace failure to get to, again, get to their goals, get to the next level that they're trying to reach. So celebrate failures, learn from them. That's the biggest thing you do. Again, three things they did well, 3 things they learned. Such a powerful drill. I can't say that enough. If you can do that with your kid, it's going to be super powerful for you to be able to have a little bit of input with the team culture with you and your kid. So give that a shot. And then visualize overcoming challenges. So visualizing, again, is a massively powerful tool that we teach our athletes, especially in a one-on-one. We have a bunch of different visualizations that are set for them specifically. So like what works for me doesn't work for them kind of thing. Like we want to fine tune it to what they're doing in their sport. This helps them mentally rehearse overcoming obstacles and setbacks. A lot of times you will hear people that maybe are inexperienced with visualization, they'll say, visualize yourself doing well and see yourself doing it right. Absolutely. Like that's what you do want to do. See, you want to get your athlete to visualize seeing them do the skill the right way. Okay, that's a rep for their mind. But the next step is to actually get them to also focus on and visualize on some of the speed bumps that come their way. You know, a tough challenger or a tough moment in the game. All right, and then visualize how they navigate these things. Okay, that's the really important piece. That's the next level. Yes, visualize the good and how you're doing things well as skill, but then visualize the process of those speed bumps. How do you respond to setbacks? Okay, so lead the athletes in visualization exercise, mentally rehearse facing a difficult situation, tough opponent, challenging moment in the game, success, and then successfully see themselves navigating it by staying focused, staying calm, and being persistent. Okay, this helps athletes mentally prepare for the challenges and strengthen their beliefs in their ability to improve and adapt. Improving and adapting is massive. Okay, so visualization, another great one you can start working with on your child, with your child. So one of the things I just want to kind of remind you as a parent, if you've been on my webinars before, I'm a big believer in this, is that the law of cause and effect. So most people fail, and this is reason why, is that people start a journey, but they don't get to see the effect from the cause instantly. So they give up on it before they reach a point where it starts to actually compound. So it's like interest in a bank, right? At $1, you get like a penny interest, let's say, right? And then that starts to compound over time. Okay, so same thing with effort and energy. They're starting here with something new, okay, and a new skill. They're not going to see massive results right away in the first few days, first few weeks, first few months, whatever it may be. But if they stick with it and they are consistent with their habits and their routines, eventually they're going to see the effect. So that penny is going to become $1,000. Okay, so changing habits takes time on average. It takes time, and on average, it takes about 60 days to actually change a habit. So we need to be patient with that and understand that. And I don't think a lot of coaches see that sometimes, but it takes time. And so for you as a parent, that having that patience to understand that your kid is changing a habit and it's very challenging for them to do and it's going to take time, but you giving them these skills of a growth mindset is really going to help them get to that point where they can actually see the results from the effort compounding. So again, it's like interest in a bank. Um, it's challenging. I think a penny was probably a bad bad reference. Is that even used these days? But yeah. So the same thing works with these new skills, right? It's a new sport. Even moving up to a new level, right? From JV to varsity or a new club team because of age. It's the long game. So remind your athlete that it's going to take some time to be able to get there. And you got to remind yourself that as well. All right. And then also development for success. I think a lot of athletes, we do as well. We think success looks like this, right? It's just going to be a straight line. But honestly, it's all over the place. This is what success looks like. It's sideways, it's backwards. We take 3 steps backwards, 3 steps forwards. And then finally we get there if we keep working on it and take the time to have that growth mindset of effort is going to compound down the road. So we're going to be able to see the effect of it. So again, remind yourself, remind your athlete, it's a long game. Being able to be an athlete and reach goals, it's the long game. It does not go in a straight line. You're going to have a ton of speed bumps, setbacks, things like that. But having a growth mindset is going to ultimately help you get there and be successful. I think that's kind of it for the development of success. I want you to kind of understand. I had something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it is. But I just to remind you, like incorporating these 6 things into your conversations with your athlete, though, these 6 skills you just learned, it's going to help them grow their mindsets. And also the cool thing, I believe it's going to help you strengthen your relationship with them. And to me, like that's one of the biggest factors of all. Like the relationship that you have with your kid is the most powerful thing ever. It's the most awesome thing ever. So being able to have them grow and get a growth mindset really is going to strengthen that relationship. So that's my hopes with this as well for you guys. And so if I may just kind of give you some brief information about my program, if you're interested in having your athlete, reach a new level, everything that they do in and out of their sport, this program can help them. This is my powerful competitive program. And this is how your athlete can have the mental skills and confidence to perform under pressure, rebound from mistakes, enjoy their sport to the fullest, and become that player in person you know they can be. And this system is going to equip your athlete with all my best performance strategies that I've learned from coaching collegiate athletes for nearly three decades. So one of the things I want you to understand, and I talk to a lot of coaches in all different sports that I work with, and every single one of them has said to me that they wish their athletes were better prepared mentally when they came in as freshmen. And these are college coaches. They believe that their mindsets is what holding them back from competing on the court with their current teams right away. So I want to strongly encourage investing I want to strongly encourage you investing in a coach or a mentor in the athlete's game. So their mental game is a big piece. Like we spend money on their skills and drills and all that. The mental piece is going to help cement that in place. If they have one thing I know is that every athlete will come in as a freshman and think they have an eternity. And then a senior year, they're like, wow, that went by so fast and they wish they did some things differently. They have only one precious life as student athlete. So this will pay off as an athlete. And then the program also is going to pay off in all aspects of their life. Like I truly believe that. And I truly teach life lessons. And I also believe that mental health is a massively important thing for your athlete moving forward. I'm a big believer in compassion, understanding, and empathy. And these are like my values. And this is what I teach my athletes that I work with. It's everything that I want them to know so they can navigate and handle everything in their sport and that life throws at them. So if you're interested in having more information, reach out to me. Love to work with your athlete in my program. The results are actually absolutely mind-blowing with all the athletes that I've worked with. So I do think it's well worth your time. And like I said, you spend a lot of money on skills, drills, clubs, things like that. But if they can't handle pressure, then all that money is going to waste with the physical piece. So the mental piece is really, it's massively overlooked. So I hope you do take a look at things. Again, I offer a free 30-minute call. So if you do want to jump on the phone with me, you, and your athlete, I would love to do that, find out what's going on. I can dive deeper and understand what exactly the situation that you guys are going through as a family or your athlete individually, and I can give you some actionable steps. But I want to tell you, like, this is only for those who are serious about having their athlete kind of prepared for the next level and potentially interested in having your athlete work with me one-on-one. So I'll have a link for you. Do I have a link for you? I don't. But anyways, you can reach out to me this way. My email is craig@cckmental.com. Instagram is my biggest thing. If you're not following me, please follow me and share. I got tons of tips on there for you. You can DM me there. You can also on Facebook reach out to me as well. Feel free to ask any questions through Instagram or Facebook, and I will help you as much as I can. But I would love to get on a call and help you guys as well. All right, I hope this webinar helped you guys with those 6 steps. Definitely put them in action, and your kid is going to really take off. The growth mindset is such a huge aspect. So thanks for your time. I'll see you guys soon.